Hi everyone, I am sitting outside on my porch in May and it's uncharacteristically chilly, but that means it's a little bit easier to do hashtag #MeMadeMay, and that means that I can wear things like this. This is one of my favorite sweaters. It is the Heartstring by Joji Locatelli in the Killer Flamingo colorway by Rainbow Heirloom. But today, what I promised I was going to do is an unboxing. So I have two things in the mail to open. I have half a fleece from a sheep, and I have some spinning bobbins, flat pack, 3D printed from Akerworks. So backing up, let me talk about the fleece. This past weekend was the Maryland Sheep and Wool Festival, or rather it was supposed to be, but like many other fiber events and any kind of event right now, it was canceled and it moved to virtual. That meant a lot of the vendors were kind of suffering, right? But they were selling online as well as the sheep fleece producers. So back in, hi Kay, back in like 2007 maybe, I don't even remember, I bought fiber at the Maryland Sheep and Wool Festival from the Ozark Carding Mill. And I didn't really know what I was doing at the time, and I asked the woman who was running the booth, how much do I need to make a sweater? And she said, oh, about £1, which is not really enough. I also probably should have noted that she was like this tall next to me, and that maybe I was a little larger than her. So I bought £1 of this Romney mohair blend from her that's all these beautiful blues and greens and, come on camera, focus, blues and greens and purples. It's a little bit greener in real life than what it's showing here. And I spun it all up. It's a 2-ply. It's, you know, kind of fat, so this is probably an Aran weight. And all together, from my pound, I got about 575 yards, which is not enough to make a sweater for me in this weight. So this has been in my stash for probably 10 years, and I've long imagined turning it into a sweater with thick stripes, like a rugby jersey, thick stripes, striped with a chocolate brown. So here we are, Maryland Sheep and Wool canceled, vendors doing virtual things, and sheep fleece suppliers doing virtual fleece sales. And so I started kind of stalking the chocolate looking fleeces. So here's my box. This is from Pheasantfield, one word, Pheasantfield Farm. They are in Chestertown, Maryland. So it is a Maryland fleece, which is also exciting given that's where I am. And they don't have an Instagram presence yet, because I asked if I could tag them on this video, but they do have a Facebook page. So if you want to look them up, Pheasantfield Farm in Chestertown, Maryland. So this is the first look that I've gotten at this fleece in person, and it's from a sheep named Sweetie. The fleece was £6. Oh, here's the little card that came with it. I know that's backwards for y'all, but Sweetie Chocolate CVM, so that's California Variegated Mutant, which sounds weird, but they have really fine little crimpy staples. Romedale U. So all kinds of things blended in here. 3 to 4 inch staple, ultra fine, soft handle, excellent lock structure, beautiful shading throughout. The fleece was £6. My plan for this is to make, you know, the rest of what I need for this sweater. I don't need £6 for that. I know that £1 is not enough for a sweater. I know that £6 is too much for half a sweater. So here it is in the box, all vacuum packed and shoved in. And I saw, after I asked to buy half the fleece, because Pheasantfield Farm gave that as an option, someone else said they were interested in the other half. So someone else has the other half of this fleece. All right, opening this trash bag. This is an unwashed fleece, so it smells like sheep. It smells like sheepy goodness, and there are all kinds of, let's see if I can get this to do this, rich depths of brown color in here. So I'm just gonna, it has been skirted, which means cutting off all the like matted bits around the back end of the sheep, but it has not been washed. And so here are some locks. You can see that this is the end that was cut. It's got some nice crimp structure to it. and then these are the ends that were on the end of the sheep, and they've got some dirt in them. There goes my dog. Sorry, my neighbor came home. I have 2 dogs. They're Beagle Dachshund mixes, and so they bark like both. But yes, it's a very sheepy smell, and it's got these locks. These are kind of a pale brown, but in here there is definitely, it is sheepy, some more like chocolatey colors with brown tips. This is going to be really nice to spin. I'm spinning a Romney fleece right now that has longer locks and not quite as fine of a crimp. But this fine crimp is what I think of when I think of CVMs, which this is part of the sheep is CVM. So if we hold that up with the yarn that I spun, I think I was hoping this would be a little chocolatey, a little bit more chocolatey brown. But given that I have tons in here, I might pick out the chocolate brown bits for this project and use the lighter bits for something else. So let me get one of those chocolatey brown pieces. And so I think I'm gonna do big stripes of this and this mixed together. That blend, those different shades will blend when I comb this, because I'll probably comb it, because this was roving and I want this to be roving as well, so I'll probably comb it rather than card it. But all of that will blend a little bit. It'll be a little bit more uniform color, but I'm hoping it'll have some nice depth of color. The trick is going to be that I spun this 10 years ago, and my default spin has changed. So this was my default spin at the time, and that's probably a worsted or Aran weight 2-ply, and I don't tend to spin that thick anymore. So it's going to be a challenge to try to match this weight with this right here. So that is item number 1. It is a 3 pounds of a CVM Romedale fleece, half the fleece, 3 pounds, from a sheep named Sweetie from Pheasantfield Farm. The other thing that I just got in the mail is flat pack bobbins 3D printed from Akerworks, AKER Works. You can find them on Instagram and such. But for years and years and years, I've wanted some Akerwork bobbins, and I haven't bought them. And then when this whole crisis started, one of my thoughts was, how can I support the people who do things for the fiber industry, the fiber vendors, the yarn dyers, the local yarn shop owners, the Etsy producers, the vendors that I want to see stay in business, but are probably having a hard time with all these shows canceled. So I went ahead and made some purchases that felt like impulse, but they were things I'd wanted for years and resisted. So I talked on my last podcast episode about how I bought some turtle pearl yarns, self-striping in the trench coat colorway. That's been on my list forever. Akerworks bobbins have been on my list forever. So I purchased these. I ordered these in March, I think, and I immediately got an email saying, we're not producing right now. If you'd like a refund, you can have it, or we'll do it eventually. And I chose do it eventually because, again, the purpose was to get money in the hands of independent vendors. So this is very exciting. For Akerworks, they do 3D printed bobbins. They send them flat pack like this, and you can pick your color. They have about 20 colors to pick from. This is a nice magenta color, and you can pick your pattern. This one I think is called Sunflower, but it comes in this little bag. And again, this is new to me. So for I have a Ashford Kiwi 2 wheel. And so these bobbins are made to fit that. Oh, cool. Okay, so this is the shaft, and it's got these little metal notches on there. And then looking inside this bobbin, it has little grooves on the inside, like a click and a lock in. So it looks like you just line that up, push it on. Let's see if I can do this. I don't want to break it first thing, and then maybe twist it. Anyway, to assemble these. So anyway, for my Ashford Kiwi 2, I have 6 wooden bobbins, and I am spinning a Romney fleece on that wheel, and I'm spinning 3 plies. So with 6 bobbins, I can kind of do 2 skeins. And as you spin, sometimes you trend fatter or you trend thinner. And so the idea is when you're doing a spin for a really big project, you want to spin as many singles as possible and then mix them together. Because if you're trending fatter and you ply your first 3 together and then your next 3 together, your next 3, like you're going to get fatter yarn at the end than at the beginning. But if you jumble them all together, it should even out. So again, trying to support vendors, thinking about things I've wanted for years, and thinking about my current projects, I went ahead and ordered 3 more bobbins so that I can get 9 sets of singles done, and then I can jumble them all together and ply for that sweater. So this is number 1 bobbin. This is, I think, the sunflower pattern with, I don't know what the color is called, but magenta. This one is the bicycle wheel. I got it in a nice lime green. And then my third one is, oh, I've got the packing slip. So this is called neon green bike tire. This one is the orchid color in lotus. So not sunflower, this is lotus. And then I got honeycomb in turquoise. So these are made by Akerworks at Akerworks. They are in Knoxville, Tennessee. And what's really cool is you can look through them. So I'm really excited because I've wanted these forever. So dog's barking again, so I'm gonna wrap this up. But thank you for joining me. I'm gonna hush dog. I'm going to keep doing Instagram lives next week, Monday through Friday. I will publish the schedule of them on the Kino Knits Ravelry group. I'm also going to send an email to newsletter subscribers so they know what the schedule is. And for this video, I'm going to put it in my story, so if you missed the beginning and you want to see the unboxing of my new fleece and my new bobbins, you can watch that in my Instagram live stories for 24 hours, but I'm also going to save this and put it on the Kino Knits YouTube channel, which is linked in my profile. So thank you to everyone for joining me. I hope you have a great weekend. I hope you have a good Mother's Day, whether you are a mother, whether you came from a mother, and if it's a day that is not joyous for you because you've lost your mother or you have a troubled relationship with your mother, I'm sending you hugs because I know that can be hard. But otherwise, I hope you have a good weekend, and check out Akerworks and Pheasantfield Farm in Chestertown, Maryland if you're interested in these. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.